Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. I look very zoomed in there. Okay, let's see. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday's stream for over here at twitch.tv/theslayergiant and youtube.com/theslayergiants. It is me, Alex the Slayer Giant, back again with a little bit of too fanfare music because I was listening to the FF16 soundtrack, and back again for my second day playing the 48-hour early access for Saros, which unlocked late last night, and I wanted to keep playing it, so hence why there's a Tuesday stream, which is gonna take over what would have been Wednesday's stream because I got something to do that day. But yeah, I'm back again. I will be playing it now. I wanted to test it on the base PS5. I played Saros on a PS5 Pro yesterday, and earlier today, in fact, very late at night yesterday, like I got a notification that the demos for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on Xbox and Switch 2 came out, and me being the big Rebirth fan that I am and continuously am, I wanted to check out to see how they fared, and maybe I'm gonna do like a graphics comparison between like the base PS5 and Pro version versus all of them, how it fared and all that. So I was kind of like testing it, and since I brought my base PS5 here, I was like, I kind of want to see how Saros fares on the machine that most people have, because not everyone had the $700 to spend, now $900 to spend on on a Pro version, on a Pro machine. And I want to see how much it fares, because usually Sony does really well with whatchamacallit, with their base versions of games. They, at least from first party, it rarely have they released anything that's kind of like beneath par on base PS5. It's funny I mentioned Rebirth. Like, Rebirth was like one of the big reasons that a Pro was kind of like how can I say this, a necessity for people that wanted to play at 60 frames and the game looking sharp, because that game in performance mode was very blurry, but it looks fine in the graphics mode. And playing the Series X version, it's kind of unfortunate that it is still the same. It still has the same problem where if you want to play at 30 FPS, it's fine. It looks beautiful. It has a few issues here and there, but then there's the if you go to performance mode, it definitely starts looking smudgy. And I feel these consoles they're getting older now. They're like 6 years old now, but I've seen enough games that I feel like Rebirth shouldn't look as blurry as it does in the base machines. I feel like, yes, the Pro makes it look so much better. I still don't feel like the Pro was an obligation to make that game look better than it was. I feel some weirdness with their tools. It happened that kind of like hurt it there. So it's kind of fortunate that on Series X, despite the extended wait, it didn't seem like Square Enix fixed much of anything in performance. But if anything, I feel the game runs worse than on base PS5. I actually got to test it. It's like, you probably need a VRR display if you want to run that thing at 60 FPS on Xbox, and it running fine because it has like the longer window for VRR. So you probably, that's where you want to do if you go that machine. And if you have your means, I still feel like on console the Pro is the better version still. Now the Switch 2 version is very interesting because they've nicked and tucked that thing to oblivion to make it work. And you will only notice the nip and tucks if you're like comparing versions. Like, I don't know, you would know that there's a lot of props missing from the furniture. Like, if you didn't know, I feel like they're doing smart like cutbacks for the people that are more ignorant, like, wouldn't be any wiser. So it's an interesting version, and that's the one version I'm gonna keep an eye out just to see like if it consistently works throughout, because that's gonna be like the version that a lot of people are gonna be playing, especially with the popularity of the Switch, especially in Japan. I feel like Square will want to make this like a big relaunch for that game, especially with like all the brouhaha have that game where it didn't sell as much as Remake, like failing expectation, or more like they didn't even say anything about sales, so their silence spoke volumes. So I'll be looking out on that, because like those games are so good that I hate that they sometimes get clouded by stupid discourse around them. So beyond shipping, but yeah, that was just kind of like my spiel with Final Fantasy. So yeah, I'll be playing Saros. I reached the second biome yesterday. I died and then quitted yesterday. Be like, okay, I'm good for tonight. I'm gonna come back slightly more refreshed. Unfortunately, I went to bed at 4 a.m. yesterday because I drank a coffee that really like just jacked me up, and I tried as I might, I just couldn't find a way to go to bed. So let's see how my performance fares right now. But I did drink a coffee much earlier. Hopefully that lets seeds away. And where the frick is my water bottle? Okay. Now I just need my water bottle. Just 1 second. All right. Water. Man, was it thirsty. Man, I have forgotten how good the FF16 soundtrack is. My feelings towards that game have gone up and down throughout the years after reviewing it and letting it sit and playing the DLC and playing Rebirth after, but the highs of that game are so insanely high, but man, those lows are so unfortunately low. It's a game that I wish I could replay more than I do, because like you want to experience a lot of those highs, but I set it to my body poll. That game is a 10 out of 10 hype aura game wrapped up in a 6 out of 10 MMO, unfortunately. And I remember making that joke around the launch, and it still remains true. So, right. Time to switch this. Yeah, continue where I left off. Let's see how this runs on base PS5, because Returnal, I actually was trying Returnal on base today just out of curiosity, and that game still runs really well. So and so does this game. Now, to be fair, I feel like playing this on a 1080p monitor like I am, the difference between Pro and base is gonna be a little less substantial, I would say, compared to like seeing it on my big TV that I have right in front of me. Okay, that's called devices. Can I upgrade? That's right, I have to upgrade one of you first. Idiot. This one's first. What up, Eddie Kale? Welcome. Hey, I went live earlier. It's finally. Let's open the portal. Are you playing Returnal by any chance, Erika? Not your kind of game? Hence why you're here. Glad to be of assistance. Happy to have you here.
Any news from Passage? Primary is online. Had some choice words for me.
Kyler should have kept him in the box.
I bet Sheridan thought about giving that order.
I still have the weapon that I died with. That is different from Burn. Yesterday I died with that hand cannon that recharges. And I'm not a big fan. Oh, shoot. Right. Thank you, Erikel, for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. For the 10 gifted subs to Kylie Buzz, TBG Zen, Sadie Shinigami, Neon Caterpillar, Mishka TV, Lisa Mann, and Heidi Nixon, Official Entra, Lisa Plays 4, and Clark Aaron. And we got a level 3 hype train. Thank you so much.
Brightest minds never achieved anything like it. What kind of beings built all this? How did Sultari miss so much? Maybe it doesn't matter. It's all ours now. Soon enough, the extraction will be back on track.
With that, you've gifted literally 62, like, gift subs. You're amazing. literally amazing. Oh yeah, give me that shot. Yeah, screw that other guy. Let's do something funny. Okay, like, tell me. Why should be that? Oh, what the? Holy mother. And here's for another 5 gifted subs to Katia Cat, to Josh M574, to Ghoul Shade, to Freight Conductor, and to Chris Snuffer, my buddy. Oh god, I know what you I know what you just did. I know what you just did. Like, I just realized. I got. Oh man. I'll take it.
How long
I'll
has it been?
freaking take it. Thank you so much, Erika.
Logged 2.5 hours ago.
Sonic and Shadow back there, thank you for your services. That was a fuck gun. And now we go back again. I feel this. Let's see what happens if I just do like a fresh biome 1 run with a shotgun. Let's see.
Stay focused, Arjun. We can't afford to lose you again.
We'll let you down, Sheridan.
Man, that shotgun's really good. Raptor hand cannon. That's the one I like. Okay, yeah. This is a much better hand cannon, but it's that. Yeah, it's stronger than a shotgun. Sorry, shotgun. But I do like this hand cannon quite a bit. So Erika, what game are you playing now? Because you didn't do Pragmata, that I do remember. Are you doing the ultimate shitpost Tomodachi Live? Which has given me nothing but great joy. Damage 7 hustle within 5 seconds with hand cannons. Hell yeah. You're doing the indie DLC on Blaster Master Act 02. Ooh. Blaster Master Act 02. Huh. Blaster Master Act 02. Oh, this looks awesome. Oh, I see it's on Steam. And on the eShop too. Is this kind of like a top-down? Oh no, I see. It's like a side-scroll. Yeah, it's almost like a sort of Mega Man like. Is it really good? Because I see that it's actually pretty cheap right now. Almost like a. It's like a Timu Mega Man almost, but like with actually really cool art style. Like, you really like the first one? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a side-scrolling top-down hybrid action-adventure gameplay. That actually really sounds way up my alley. And I still need to go back to the Indiana Jones DLC. Dude, I'm in such a bind with that game because I bought the PS5 version also, even though I had it on. I got the early access Game Pass version like the year before. And I was trying to do like a completionist run on Indie. And I kind of froze there, like, and I didn't know like if I want to continue doing it on PS5. But I had the Xbox kind of like DLC already because of the early access. It was a whole mess. So. And my buddy Paul Angel Source 21, he did do the DLC and he loved it. So, and he loves that game, and I love it too. So, him liking it a lot, I know it's was a ringing endorsement for me. So. That's better than Richard. Yep. He'll feel very happy knowing that he convinced you that he got to influence. But I would say like he has good taste in games, I would say. Which is why our fellow Don Lionheart doesn't. So like, if Paul likes something, I'm more willing to listen. Whereas if Don likes something, I'm terrified. Like I played the Mindside DLC today out of curiosity because I saw that Gene tweet where someone quoted him be like, hey, have you read like what this DLC does? I was like, I need to see that train wreck for myself. And my god. The train wreck of that game is it's a sight to watch, I'll say. You're stalling on E33. Erika, I'll just say I've so cooled off on E33. I don't mind that you have stalled. I think I finally like grown to thinking that game is just massively overrated. And I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. So don't feel bad for stalling. And hello KB, welcome to day 2 of Saros. But yeah, the conversation on our E33 has finally gotten so... It's like, can I just play? Yeah, like... You're not missing much at this point, and... I kind of just wanted to stick it to that game now, because like, its fan base has just been so... Like... So fucking annoying about it. That I just don't want to give it more oxygen. I kind of want to starve that annoying fanbase out of oxygen because I feel they have ruined the thing that has made E33 good to me, which was like a homage to the JRPGs of old. So yeah, just stall and forget about it. It's like, especially if you're not caring at this point, I feel like what you're gonna say about the story afterwards is not gonna make you care after. Because I feel the game already lost you. So you have a sealed copy of the deluxe edition that you have not opened. I would say maybe wait a year after people have fully forgotten about that game, and then crack it open and give it a try and see if, removed from all the hype, you like it. But also, are you a fan of turn-based RPGs? That would be like the question. You're open to the last one you played was FF10-2. That is really interesting because there's... Do you play the original 10? The one with Titus and Yuna. That is so interesting that you only play 10-2 and not 10. Well, the only thing that I will say is that a big story element of E33 is very similar to FF10. It was your Civil's copy back in the day, yeah. I mean, like, we now have learned that Final Fantasy has become an ARMS series, so...
Prophet of lies, master of the robbed. His puppets jerk on his strings. Broken scarecrows to chase fools from the path. But when it saw me, it retreated, and it let me pass. It is yesterday's king, and I am tomorrow's.
But yeah, like, I think I'll be very happy to not have to hear about E33 for a good long while, and I say that as someone that met Ben Starr and did English like a month after the game came out. I actually like the Enter Rider, Jennifer Bender, and it's like really nice versions, and it's like I feel like with an FF game you have to earn it, yeah. Whereas E33 feels like won everything like by default almost. Like conversation around it. And 100% KB is like, and they, that will be the albatross that forever haunts Final Fantasy now. That they're so caught up in having to be like the most lavish production of its time. And before that could happen really good. And now that can't. So they skip entire generations of people. And the games don't resonate like with the modern audience like they should. And if I'm not mistaken, like 10 and 10-2 came a year and a half apart from each other. Similar to like FF13 to 13-2. And looking, man, people hate 13. 13-2 is more light. I haven't played it, so that's still kind of like something I want to do. And 13, I got near the end and burned out. Back in the day. So that's still kind of like a gaming shame of mine, but because everyone knows how people feel about 13, I just kind of let it be. And I do hate that the only way that I can play the game modernly right now is on Xbox. And to me, that's just not an Xbox series, so that keeps me from going back to it. Even though the Series X version, or the 360 version and backwards compatibility on Xbox is actually really good. It looks really beautiful. It runs really well and all that, but for Final Fantasy, fuck Xbox. Eclipse time. That's what's so funny, KB. That was a game that actually had marketing for both platforms because they really wanted to jump in so hard on letting people know, hey, this game's also coming to 360, but they had all the PS3 promo material. But kind of like what happened was that in the US, they had the 360, like the Xbox marketing right. Outside the world, it was on PS3 because they had like the Blu-ray stuff. Like it was all over in Japan. And there was like a pink PS3 in Japan that looked like Lining. So, and the 360 version was a significantly worse version than the PS3 version because it came in 3 discs and it ran at 576p. So that really went to show like the power dynamics of the consoles back then, where they kind of like played both sides there selectively. And they kind of did a similar thing with 15, where there was a big push with the PS4 Pro. Like, it was like, this is a game that you can play here. But I remember seeing commercials when I was watching The Flash on the CW. They had a couple 15 commercials that said, running on Xbox One. I was like, why are you showing the Xbox One version? What are you guys doing? I was like, but then I remember it's like, yeah, that's how they were doing it. Like, playing it through territory. But yeah, I will never forget E3 2008 when Final Fantasy 13 was announced to be coming to Xbox. That was seen as such a stab in the heart to PlayStation 3. Especially after an entire year of stabs in the heart. Because Devil May Cry 4 was another one that was announced as the PS3 exclusive, and then the year before it came out, it went multi-platform. Grand Theft Auto 4, that was always going to be multi-platform, but Microsoft snagging the DLC was like a huge deal. And then FF13, like, Big Stone was like seen as, oh, it's so over for the PS3. Like no one wants to like exclusively develop for them. And TV, like you probably missed it when I started. I mentioned like I'm actually playing right now the base PS5 version. I kind of wanted to test it because I was doing a couple of graphics comparisons to that. And I was like, I want to see how Saros is looking on base PS5. And I say base console people have nothing to worry about with this game. Absorb 2021 projectiles using the shield. That is such a very specific, such a very specific number. And I see why they did it. Returnal release year reference. Close for comfort. Heal. Yes. That barely healed me.
This is Alaba Lawan from Echelon 4. 85 in Carcosa. Left the others behind. They've been useless since Pierce died. They've lied to what's right in front of them. A treasure trove of technology. Value beyond anything projected in the Lucite venture.
Adrenaline level. So KB, I think the adrenaline thing that you talked about yesterday works kind of similar to Returnal. I kind of like tried Returnal again today. So the only thing that I would say is the only thing that I'm not liking is the fact that you cannot carry like a healing item with you. But it does seem to give more healing items like during combat, so maybe it nets out different. It literally is a sequel in anything but name. Corruption generates power. Gotta make that jump. Guess I'm there. Weak point kills stagger nearby hostiles. Deal damage restores integrity at low integrity. Oh, I like that. The number in the bottom left, the 14. I actually don't know. Let's see if it tells us something. Let's see. Combat base, no, combat advanced combat. System. Oh, it's my proficiency level, I think. See? Yep, there's my proficiency level. So, whatever that means. stick with the shotgun. Yeah, I'll stick with the shotgun for now. I don't know what the fuck. I said shotgun. Oh yeah, let's redo the boss fight from yesterday. Let's see what... I think I'm probably just screwed myself. Yeah, I think this boss fight is like quite it's not shotgun friendly. But I'm basically doing a level up run. Oh crap, I didn't want to use that. And if I saw, but does it play pretty much confirm the issue with the license what the user and reseller are found? Yes. And like that explanation where apparently there's something that Sony's implementing because people were exploiting the like taking out like something about like the key during that early period and then getting a refund but keeping the game. Kind of like there was like that exploit that apparently that's what this is for. So I'm glad that it's not seeming as bad as it looked at the same time. This again just goes to show like what a fucking horrible generation it is for Sony not speaking and putting up PR fires, because look like all the like that is something that you have to like just face head on. Like come on, like don't just let it happen. There's like their lack of like talking is inversely proportional to how much Xbox talks, and it is so annoying because the other ones can never shut up. and then these guys will not just say anything, and then there's just PR disasters that happen, and it just kind of creates this weird just this weird aura about like even being around the brand. And it sucks that all of this was happening while this game is basically out. Like, what are people just talking about that? Like, it sucks. Like, and I don't feel people needed to. Yeah, I feel like when you get to issues like this, the not speaking is just as bad, if not more, from a PR standpoint, than constantly talking, I would say. Like, and I say that as someone that my major was PR, and I know about like crisis management and things like that. And, this is just such horrendous PR. It's insane. Screw myself by bringing the shotgun. I needed something quicker. And I would say this, like, having this kind of silence and bad PR is the thing that when something truly bad happens, that's how people can much more quickly lose you, I would say. Like, imagine, KB, if this silence remained like that during the PSN outage, during the hack. Think about it.
Come on.
And even then, like, how much the, like, not talking quick cost them, like, with the PSN outage. Like, it literally cost them any chance for the PS3 to ever come back in the public eye. Even though at the end of the day, in that generation, they ended up selling more because they kept selling after the generation was over. And I hate when people forget that. Because it's like PS3 did not win like when it mattered. And the humbling they got is like, it's the reason why the PS4 started so strong too, because they rode that wave of humility to the next generation. Prophet, dispatch Prophet, +1 resilience, +1 command, and 1 for every proficiency level. Oh, cool. Give me more map. Armor integrity. More of this. Sturdy cycle with an extra redraw item. Interesting. This is another Shadow Rise one. Sam, I'm gonna switch out of my shotgun.
Got an update for me?
Still chasing that signal. There's a lot in my way.
Sorry to labor the point, but we need this one. I'm worried about Stack and Kayla.
I'll find it.
That would be so funny if that's how they're gonna shut people out. Be like, hey, we're having a showcase. Oh man. this point, I'm kind of hoping that what we know of, like what people can try is doing is true. That if we have to give the keys to the kingdom to someone, let them be to someone outside due to opportunity cost. Because that way, like, you can try to keep a franchise going while allowing your current studios to cook up something new. So I wouldn't want to give them Killzone Resistance in the order. Like, even though I think they would do a really bang up job, but then at the same time, like, I do feel like their strengths are in gameplay, and when it comes to narrative, I'm still like gonna wait and see to see if the extra focus and story of this game actually pays off. Goodbye, healing. Like, do you remember reports that apparently, like, Band for a while was, like, put on, like, an Uncharted game? This was, like, back in 2021. This was when we learned that Last of Us was getting remade. I remember reading that and my heart sinking, because I was like, you're really doing that to Band? And then it gets even worse when we know what happened afterwards, that they're working on that now canceled live service game. So like, ideally what I would want is like what they did with Sly back in the day with Saros. Like Jason said, it's not a new IP, but it's gonna feel like one. Boy, did your heart rate spike because you thought Corey was working on The Order. Look, my mind never went to The Order because that was already a Dawn's thing. I know Sony Santa Monica helped, like, with like the next step of it all, but I still am crestfallen over the fact that it's a God of War spin-off. Like, I don't think I'll ever get over that. And whatever they show has to be so freaking good that makes me forget that I'm crestfallen too. Over being a God of War spin-off. So, at launch, I kind of lined up was kind of like where people, like, how the consensus landed. I thought it was good. Between okay to good. I feel the first half of that game is really strong, but then after the big balloon, like, in sky level, like, the pacing of that game kind of, like, slows down to trickle. And I really don't like how that game ended. It felt like it ended right as it was getting started. But the world building of that game is so incredible. The visual design is so amazing that if you put The Order on right now, it looks like a game from today. And that game actually also benefits from the enhanced PS4 games on PS5 Pro thing, because it's stuck at 1080p. It looks so incredibly good. I feel that is a franchise that, if I want to be like really honest, I do feel that it wasn't that much different from Uncharted 1 in quality overall. And I feel Uncharted 1 got Kid Globe's treatment in comparison to what happened to The Order, in a way. I don't feel like they're that different. Like, they're both pretty simple games, high production value and all that. I feel a sequel for The Order would have been banger. if they have made a fully realized game. So yeah, it's like I feel that that's an IP that I'm kind of sad how it was handled, and I do feel it became a victim of the Adem mentality that exclusive first party or PlayStation games shouldn't score in the 6s. Like they have to at least be 8s, because I feel that's also what happened to Days Gone. Which I like Days Gone. Like in fact. I would say that game's pretty underrated, but I understand why it reviewed so low too, like, all things considered. Why was the game that reviewers played so broken? And you know it was broken because Ben patched it 7 times in less than a week when it came out, so... If anything, what we've seen with Crimson Desert seems kind of similar to what happened to The Order, with the only difference that Crimson Desert the very least worked as a video game, whereas from what I understand, Days Gone was pretty broken during the review period. And I feel that game's 71 Metacritic sealed its fate. That's why, like, a sequel could never happen.
Doesn't upset me anymore. I will show them all how bright I can shine.
Days Gone is the one first party game you have not played. Interesting. I would say, like, if you were to play it now, it's actually a good game. It's too long, I would say. Like, it takes too long for, like, what makes it good. Like, shows up. But it's better than its critical reception suggests. I do feel sad thinking that the only thing Ben is gonna put out this entire generation is a remaster. But I mean, we talk about Media Molecule when we stream Returnal, right? Like, I don't even know what's happening there. are my expectations for the showcase, aka State of Play. So I think like definitively, I feel like the name showcase is forever dead. I feel like the last state of the last State of Play was like a letter, like basically a soft letter of intent. We want these to actually matter so that people don't neglect these because they're always hoping for a showcase. So it will be a State of Play. I feel like we're running out of time for the big look for Wolverine, so I think they're gonna show it to us there because we're still dead into the spring. And it's on to say that yeah, the last showcase that was called a showcase was May 2023. The one that revealed Fair Games, we'll always bring it up, Marathon and Concord, and had the gameplay reveal of Spider-Man 2. That was the last time they named a showcase a showcase. And pound for pound, if you look at the State of Play we got in February this year, that was as content-packed as that showcase. And that is true. But I just feel like based on the timing, we will see Wolverine there. I can imagine they're going to show Wolverine the same way they showed it at the September 2023. I mean, when they showed Spider-Man 2 gameplay at the September 2023 State of Play that had the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release date. So we'll see Wolverine there. I think with all this thing that we're getting closer to hearing Corey's game, I think that thing's gonna be there. And maybe we see Intergalactic. I don't know where they are with that game, but it seems right. I feel those are like three big name exclusives from like what we know is like next in the docket that could be the thing that we see. I have no hope of Media Molecule showing up. Like, but then from first party, who are we missing? I'm trying to think. Like, who should be going next? Another theory is like, could Final Fantasy Part 3 be there? Now that the director, like after the demo drop for Rebirth and Switch 2 and Xbox, they're saying like, just wait a little bit more. So they have history, but at the same time, like we know Square Enix right now is like being very like assholey about their relationship with PlayStation. So who knows? Technically, KB, ironically, as confirmed by Shu, Yote wasn't his game. The last game he worked on was when Ghost of Tsushima was still being developed. So the green light for Yote would have come during the Jim Ryan and Herman era. So Spider-Man 2 makes sense that it would be his green light because they would have greenlight that game in 2018, same as God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, I think Shuhei basically confirmed that Tsushima was his last game with as president in that like panel that he did with Alana, where he revealed that he was fired. So So I think we do have to give Astrobot and Yoti to him. And I'm doing that with gritted teeth. But those are... Don't rock the boat green lights. Just do your thing again. Which I feel has defined like how he sees quality. So much better having this weapon. I love how you can really like get into a flow state of left, right, center. Oh man, let me beat it and I'll answer that.
That's right.
Man, beating this boss feels so good. Makes me feel like a big pro. So yeah, I did see that, KB, and I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I played almost the entire series like multiple times, with the only ones that I've only played once being whatchamacallit, Odyssey and Valhalla, which obviously they're the longest ones. And also Shadows, and I reviewed Shadows. I got to play that early, like during the review period. I had to beat that game in 11 days, which was hell. But yeah, I did see the report from, I did see Tom Henderson's report of the major creative overhaul because they lost the director. That's the second director they lost, because originally Clint Hawking was doing that game, and that was the Splinter Cell guy that did the original Splinter Cell and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and he also worked on Watch Dogs Legion. And he constantly leaves Ubisoft and comes back, and this time he left again, which I don't get. Like, he just loves leaving. So Ubisoft is such a clusterfuck of a company, man. They feel so lost and adrift, and look how adrift they are that it seems like this entire year the only thing they're gonna be able to release is that remake for Black Flag, which to be fair looks good. I like Black Flag a lot. I don't consider it the best Assassin's Creed game like a lot of people in the internet do, but I think it's a top 5 game, I would say, and it's one of the best pirate games ever. So from that perspective, like, I do stand Black Flag a little bit, but yeah, like, it's sad seeing what's happening with Ubisoft, that I'm like, where's your development pipeline? Like, Ghost Recon is languishing now because you canceled a Battle Royale because you wanted to put Ghost Recon on a Battle Royale in the first place, despite the fact that people utterly rejected your Battle Royale. Rainbow Six, it's still in Siege Land. That's still doing really good for them. Far Cry has been shockingly, like, gone. And not that I'm clamoring for his return, because I do feel like the Far Cry formula has been borderline exhausted at this point. But I just feel like the alternative shouldn't be like, oh yeah, Far Cry is now gone. It has been gone for 5 years now. And the problem with like a lot of Ubisoft stuff is that because they have so homogenized their gameplay, and so many other studios that do open world games have copied their formula so to the T, that others are doing their games better than they do it. It's put Ubisoft in a really bad position, if I'm perfectly honest. But you cannot deny that their formula was very like, their formula was big for a reason, but then they drove that formula like up the fucking roof, and that is such a problem, because it's like the Ubisoft like, that formula has been so homogenized that I feel it even hurts games from non-Ubisoft games when I really think about it. Like, I like Jote a lot. I liked it like when I played it, I liked it more than Tsushima and all of that. Then when I think about it, I don't know why I think about it as a Ubisoft game. That I was like, oh yeah, this was a Ubisoft game. It was a Ubisoft style game. And I feel that is kind of like the problem of so many games using that formula. It has so run its course. And like even for you, like for example, like you're not as high on Rebirth as others. I can imagine you can also attribute like the fact that the way Rebirth does its open world, it's straight up Ubisoft. The one thing that game does better than most Ubisoft games is the fact that doing the entirety of those worlds, there's a synergy and a reward to actually doing them beyond just a platinum trophy that makes it more rewarding to actually do compared to like 100% in Shadows, let's say. Which Shadows was the AC game that completely broke me. Like I reviewed it fine. Like I gave it an 8 when I reviewed it. And that was just because I liked the ending a lot. But a huge chunk of that game made me miserable. And the worst part was that the DLC, Claws of Awaji, that's the thing that put the kibosh on that entire project for me, because I was like, nope, I hate this. It's like, oh, second chance, I need to get this. 100, 300. It's gonna be a little bit before I get a second chance, but... But I do feel like in Ubisoft's case, the fact that they applied that entire formula to every game they did was the worst thing that could have happened. Dude, don't even start me with the kaiju, because that was a Attack on Titan crossover that was separate from Claws of Awaji, and man, like, talk about that, like, my heart sinking about how bad things have gotten. That DLC was that. Like, and that was a free thing, and that was a limited thing. But, dude, it's like, that just ruined, that really ruined so much for me. Let me tell you, like, and the fact that the DLC that wasn't that free, well, technically they did the DLC, they gave it to you for free if you pre-ordered it, and that was part of the season pass that they canceled. And they were planning 2 expansions. They ended up just canceling the second one, only doing 1, and just putting the rest of the price on ice, basically. That DLC, Claws of Awaji, killed the one thing that made me high on Shadows, which was its ending, and finally feeling like what I loved about the series was finally getting refocused again. And that was when I was like, fuck Shadows. They should put this up to pasture. Screw this game. This is my least favorite Assassin's Creed of them all. The one that I actively dislike, because I actually like a lot of them. I'm a big Valhalla defender, actually. Like, but Valhalla is the game I love that I can't recommend, because that game really spoke to me in a very particular way that I don't feel will speak to most people. So, which is in regards to the series lore. So, I would say like they did get me interested in that remake for Black Flag, though. So
you can't be here. You're not safe here. You're going to die. You're not in your right mind. I tried to tell her about my friend. How we had everything we needed.
I'm hoping for the best for that one.
How happy we were. But she didn't understand.
But I'm still like pretty sad about where Assassin's Creed is. And welcome, Ada. Welcome to my stream for Saros. Good having you here.
What do you think of this place, Jay?
Suit said the machinery is hundreds of years old. Scans picked up leucine residue everywhere. I think...
This area might have been their refuge.
maybe. It was safer than the surface before you got here. But
Yeah,
I'm
it
a little busy
technically,
now, mate.
yes, it came out today.
On my way.
Even though I played it like when it unlocked last night, it's still today. It's a new game for today. So I don't want to do eclipse just yet. Plus 8 command power, minus 4 drive, listen again. Nope. Cans for organic hustle to rock more listener. Wow, I do want that. Organic bounty. It's a really cool game so far, Ada. It's snappy. It's super fun. It can be really difficult too. It's also a roguelike. So. You think it's possible for any of these forever games to fall off completely? USF Apex is putting on new characters 9 years later. I guess people want to move on. I think, KB, like, that's my hope. Eventually, that some of these games just fall off, but I'm more feeling like that with Fortnite because of the damage Fortnite has done to the industry. Like, I don't mind Apex as much because I don't mind that Apex is not like in the constant conversation. So what's this game about? It's a game of being in an alien world as he's trying to find his lost wife. And apparently there's like eldritch horrors, alien horrors, Ada, so... And we're still trying to piece together what the story really is about. The one thing I'll give you, KB, especially since you mentioned Apex, is that I hate that its success killed Titanfall. That's like the only thing that I will forever resent that game for. This year has crazy new games back to back. Indeed it does, Data. Indeed it does. It's kind of insane, like how many good games we've gotten back to back, and it still feels like the year's too young. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most, KB, that it's like Titanfall was killed by EA's own doing. And that's always used against, like, literally is used against that game. Like, for why didn't you done? And then, and apparently Respawn has been trying endlessly to bring Titanfall back, and they keep canceling projects. I don't know why it's so, like, why they struggle so much. And my thing is that right now I'm really scared for what will become of Respawn now that Vincent Bell is gone. Still 8 months left of the year. Yeah, it's like for next month, Ada, I'm excited for Lego Batman, Forza Horizon 6, and 007 First Flight. And that's before we get to the summer, to the summer showcase season. I think that Lego Batman game is gonna be a secret banker. Like, I'm feeling very confident about it. Do I want a shotgun? No. Shotgun scares me one too many times already. Sit down and load it. Steering rounds shot load. Oh, redraw. Oh, okay. I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, I'll get a ricochet hand cannon. KB, are you excited for Lego Batman? Were you big into Batman Arkham, like Asylum, City Night? Love Arkham Trilogy, my man. Looking forward to it, sweet. That's why I'm looking forward to it, because it's literally a Batman Arkham game, but with Lego for it. So, I'll take what I can get, especially after Suicide Squad, robbed us the next great Rocksteady game. This hand cannon's golden. Whenever you play KB, erupt or hand cannon. If you see it, that's the weapon you should go. If I'm playing as a superhero, I want to play as a superhero only. In the Arkham games, I wasn't playing as Alfred. I wasn't doing Commissioner Gordon missions. Insomniac sorted out. Man, and you right there just underlined why the Arkham series will be better than the Spider-Man games, holistically. Even though I like the story of 2018 Spider-Man more than the 3 games in the Arkham trilogy, and the production value too. Gonna lurk and get back to work. Took a break. Highly appreciate it, Ada. Appreciate the lurkies. I'll be here for the next hour and a half still, so hope it's a fun lurk and have fun, and whenever you're ready to come back into the chat, I'll be here. Thanks so much for the lurks. But can you also kind of underline why I feel Miles Morales is still my favorite of those 3 games? Because you only play as Miles. There is no, there's little fluff. And you know what really pains me, KB, is Miles alongside Lost Legacy were literally like solutions that Sean Layden came up with the we need to put out games quicker that are made cheaper, that can be sold at a cheaper price so we can put out games out. And Jim Ryan and Turvin Holtz completely just were like, nah, we're gonna continue doing that. Just the biggest of big stuff that's gonna take half a decade to make. And call it beyond a college career to be cooked. Though I would say though, who should we who should we praise over the fact that we actually got God of War Sons of Sparta? Regardless of the quality. That puts me in a little bit of a bind. Because I have to really think about like, how long was that game in development? Because we know when Nishino really came in as a Bob Herman thing. So because theoretically, like, that would have been a Herman Greenlight, right? That Sons of Sparta. Yep. There are some wins. I feel like what screws him over is the fact that now the single player stuff takes so freaking long that those wins don't come as often, and we hear more and more about the elves. Like,
unstable power signature detected. Power integrated.
because Wolverine would have been a greenlit of his too. Maybe he heard that one. The Wolverine thing really, yeah, no, I think Wolverine is his, because Miles Morales was greenlit during Sean Layden, and the team that was making Wolverine, was supposed to be the Miles Morales team, because they were separate teams within Insomniac. So, and it was originally Brian Horton, Rise of the Tomb Raider's director, that was directing Wolverine, who did Miles Morales. So.
Shortcut you found back to passage. I'm gonna need it when you find me.
It's some kind of teleporter. Alien tech.
You just have to mess with everything you find, don't you? But I'm low on supplies, so any way back, I'll bloody take it.
Another hollow cache. So you were here too.
We were all glad when Micah disappeared,
It's our wifey.
but then he came back. And God, he was beautiful, shining, golden. We have followed him to the ends of the world, except for Delroy. I've never seen so much hate in my life.
When does she she record this?
Metadata corrupted.
Nitya was here. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I would say Tokon should be one of his too. And I do wonder how much Tokon was also spearheaded by the push back towards Japan. I feel that's something that... Because Tokon was announced after Nishino had already like come in. And it was part of that Japanese heavy state of play from last June, so...
Jay, I'm gonna try something. I think it's the only way.
But now the big question here, like, will that string of wins be enough to erase all the blunders? Because I feel like the blunders are generational.
Lots of them.
Hang in there, Jay.
Like, absolutely generational.
I'm on my way. Stay with me. You hurt?
Nothing we can't set right in passage.
Because it feels like the die is
But not
cast for
bleeding.
this generation, what people
Lay
feel.
low, mate. I'll get you out.
That there's an incomplete lost generation. Kina 2, yeah, second party. The Silent Hill game, I think the one that's coming out this year, it's a PS5 exclusive also. It's Phantom Blade Zero. I wonder if they're going to show that again, because that's also an exclusive. Neo 3 was an exclusive. If you greenlight a game featuring Daw or any character that resembles Daw, you should not be played. Oh man. And I feel Keena's another one where you could associate the... That probably was like... That partnership was greenlit by Shuhei back then for like the early PS5 stuff. And he came in to not rock the boat. And be like, let's do another one. With a little bit more back game. But in this industry, unfortunately, KB, is like, no matter how many wins you have, catastrophic blunders will always follow you to the grave. And the elves are just a little too much in this era of that. Yes, stronger one of these. Perfect.
What is that sound?
Unlocked entity. No data.
What is it?
I think
Last one in missiles.
it's one of them.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Let's see if it works. Flag. Weapon artifact recoil combo. Main weapon kills. Reduce shield power consumption. Reckless lose an item hit. It has that's a really good synergy. I'll kind of risk it. Holy mother of God, that's a lot of glue that I need to crack off. Yes. Yeah, heal me, heal me, heal me. Ooh, man. Marksman hand cannon, is this good? Piercing shot, head hunter, favorite target. Nah, I'll take the other one.
I'm almost there. Hold it off!
Oh God! No! John, please!
Jerome! Jane! What's Jerome's status?
Vitals critical.
No! I'm almost there, Jane!
option generates power. Pressure revealed reduced damage when low integrity. Let's see. Oh crap. There we go. Whoa. Second chance? Second chance to permanent upgrade the revise your opponent. I didn't think I had unlocked that. There got the press release that people can fly put out about working on a nostalgia P. There's only 2 options, right? 3. Killzone, Resistance, or SOCOM. What else could it be? There's no other shooter franchise. Yes. I need to take the high ground. Oh, man. Almost, yeah, I couldn't quite do a one try with that. Yeah, F's in chat. That was an almost awesome run.
How do I keep coming back?
Insufficient data.
About us, Soltari, the global leader in products and services to aid and uplift all aspects of life, with the ultimate goal of furthering the human experience. Having enjoyed rapid expansion since its humble origins as a manufacturer of carbon capture technology, Soltari is now active in fields including robotics, consumer leisure, advertising, renewables, rare earth mining, agri-tech, weapons manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, and of course aerospace engineering and deep space exploration. Today, the Soltari family encompasses over 100,000 subsidiary firms, and is proud to be the solar system's largest employer. Of course, this was merely the beginning of its ambitions. The Echelon program is the culmination of Soltari's long-term effort to establish a new frontier for humanity, following dozens of successful unmanned message truncated. This. This is like a weird Doom ritual, this place.
Totally still won't hear anyone's concerns. The mission's the mission until we hear them.
Gosh, this game visually is immaculate, man. It really is. And all of this on base PS5 right now. Interviewer, why become an enforcer? DevRush. It was the natural next step, doing what I do but with more meaning, I guess. Meaning? It's not just about getting paid, it's about helping people. And does that make you feel good? It's not about that, it's not about me. Then what is it about? Long silence. If they're really lost, if they're in trouble, then they need someone to save them, and I think that's meant to be me. What up, Nova? Welcome! Echelon 4 pre-flight psychological assessments. Sheridan Bouchard. Observe strengths, authoritative, rational under pressure, people skills. Observe flaws. Superiority, complex, rejection, sensitivity. Stack. Observe strengths, highly adaptable, openness to experience. Observe flaws, traits in line with oppositional defiant disorder. Kayla Rhodes. Observe strengths, detail-orientated, inventive problem solver, highly loyal. Observe flaws. Risk of homesickness, history of anxiety. Jerome Jackson. Observe strengths, level-headed, never questions orders. Observe flaws, fatalistic tendencies, possibly unresolved grief. Redacted. Observe strengths, highly driven when focused, compartmentalizes fear. Observe flaws, prone to distraction, history of substances.
Our friends die, and all we can do is leave them on a slab.
I'm sorry, Kayla. As soon as we can, we'll give everyone we lost the service they requested in their file.
You were debating if you should watch this game or not, but you doubt you'll ever play it. I don't know if you'll ever get a console against Sony's. Yeah, if you missed out on getting the PS5 when it was still $399 before the price hikes, you definitely missed out, and you're gonna now miss out on Sony games in general now. How's the game so far? Pretty dope. I love this game a lot. I think I like it more than Returnal because it's easier. I don't care what the elitists say. Returnal could be a little too hard sometimes, and I feel like I'm enjoying my time enough with this game, and I still find it fairly challenging. So, by the way, Nova, I caught the very end of that PSG Bayern game. That's insane. That score's insane. I can't wait to see like what the next round's gonna bring. And tomorrow's your Gooners, right? Or Gunners.
Seb, is that you?
Tassie with a new Bungie article. Oh, let me see what he dropped now. Let me see. Does I have notifications on for him? Oh no, Remy's coming to Fortnite? The rat is coming to Fortnite? The only reason PSG won because of a bad penalty call. Yeah, I don't think he posted a Bungie article today. I'm like scrolling his Twitter feed right now. I know he did post about Crimson Desert holding its Steam player base, like we cared. You're a depressed Arsenal fan. Your team is ass, but it matters the most. The Arsenal experience. Now, to be fair, Nova, like, would it be good consolation if, let's say, the Spurs go down to second division? Because it seems like they're well underway there. Integrity after a second chance revival. Yes, give me that. Plus 1 artifact slot. Pressure clears away hostile projectiles. Ooh. Interesting.
Exercise caution in the ancient ruins, Enforcer Devraj. The Lucenite there is Soltari property.
I don't give a damn about Soltari property.
Lucenite is the reason we are here.
I came here for the colonists.
Now, how's the rest of the calendar looking, Nova?
Is the sole purpose of the colony.
Could they still eke it out?
Do what it takes to find them.
Oh yeah, that's an old article. KB, like they added a new mode that basically everyone that goes in with a free sponsor kit, so it's a pretty level playing field. And I think it was duos. I've been meaning to play it, but I was in Pragmata land. And now I'm here in Saros land, and I'm waiting for my brother to want to go back in because I was waiting for the duo playlist to come back because I wanted to do duos with him because we were just not chatting with a third player as often. And because me and my brother speak Spanish when we talk, I feel really bad for our third player that they have to like get used to us like Spanglishing. So, but I've heard that mode was actually pretty successful. And unfortunately has made people desire Marathon to be a battle royale. So, which, to be fair, considering like all the good loot that Cryo Archive has given people, that is not for the battle for like the extraction shooter. And I feel it's making the games too unbalanced now. And I've been looking at footage of of what's happening with the PvP side of Cryo Engine, and it has become a grenade spam fest, and that's bad. So we're equal on points. It's all about goal difference now. That city's dropping points again. And Arsenal with the worst striker in the league, with Jokiris and your best player Saka being out for most of the season, we're too unlucky. That is such that's such levels of unlucky, it boggles the mind, Noah. Like, yeah, especially right now getting a Pep Guardiola like City like momentum upshot. Oh man, like it's a nail biter now. I made a joke, Nova, in another Discord that grape missile. Yeah, no, I'll do a grape missile. I made the joke that if Arsenal fans lose this season, they're gonna commit literal goonicide. So you're on goonicide watch. The last 3 seasons, Saka was one of the best in the world. He carried us so hard, and finally, when we have the best chance to win, the league is out. How is that a thing? We really need the best version of Saka Ace, and he's just coming out of injury for like the last 7 games of the season. Oof. I'm gonna drive that car to the restaurant for real if we lose the league. Bikini means coffee, be aware.
How can the eclipse change things underground?
Yellow shines through all.
What?
Yellow shines through all. Kills restore. Taking damage briefly jams main weapon, but kills restore integrity. Ooh. Yes, they are. They are KB. Like that has remained the same. Like this level didn't look like this in my previous run, so. Immunity after kill. Can have both of them. So yeah, I have immunity after kill and kills restore integrity. That's interesting. Hostiles deal extra damage from successive hits. Yeah, that's like that's brutal. So the PS5, I don't know, it never appealed to you. Won't lie, I loved your PS4 met online friends there, but to me this generation is only about three games that are interested: Returnal and Saros. But they're all like my least favorite genre in gaming, and that's Stranding, but it's not on PC. Maybe Stellar Blade. I'm not into story heavy over the shoulder grounded storytelling. So for Stellar Blade, ironically, it's not over the shoulder. Eve's butt is right center, like screen center. You have to be very into Souls-like style parrying games, or like a game that's kind of like an in between a Souls-like and a character action based game. You like Nier, I think you would find appreciation for Stellar Blades. We got Nier Automata at Home story. There are similar vibes. Not as good as Nier though. And that game's on PC too, so that's kind of like another problem for you. That it's like a lot of the games that you're interested in, like Returnal's on PC, but it's very heavy and demanding. Death Stranding, both of them are now on PC too. Stellar Blade made it to PC too, and Lagooners were absolutely like thrilled about that. But shockingly, I didn't see as much heinous things about that game as I expected. I feel like I've seen more heinous stuff about Tifa in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth than I did Eve in Stellar Blade. So, So there's that. So yeah, that kind of screws you over because then like, and I understand. And there you have you now have you're underlining precisely why PlayStation is going back to exclusives, because what was your reason to get one? Because you have a system that could play them, and if you're Microsoft, or at least pre this new regime, you wanted to be in like you just wanted to be everywhere. You didn't care where everyone was coming as long as they were playing the game. So, and I know you're not like, you don't like over the shoulder storytelling, so you're out on Last of Us and you're out on God of War. So there's that. Horizon, both of them are on PC, and I don't know if you're a big Horizon fan either. I don't think you're big into Asteroid. Also, Asteroid's another like one of the few games that are like worthy for the PS5. So you love God of War 2018, Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, Bloodborne. You like Spider-Man, Last of Us 2 had great atmosphere and production. Didn't like Days Gone. Until Dawn was cool. Detroit was sick. Like, you at least enjoyed a lot of those games. So yeah, and I 100% get it, because that's why I always say why this generation of PlayStation is probably my least favorite, because it's mostly been its sequel to that, and the new ideas have not been there, or have they've been few and far between. Like Returnal and Saros were at least like a different kind of game from what Sony like was putting out, which was more gameplay centric, even though it's a roguelike, and you know you hate roguelikes. But they really wanted to make their mark on live service, and that was a disaster. uh Give you Intergalactic, but also release Gravity Rush 1 and 2. Like, I remember hearing that we were supposed to get like a PS5 version of Gravity Rush 2 because they were making that TV show or movie. I don't remember. But yeah, and Intergalactic is taking an entire generation at this point. So at this point, if you want to go back to PlayStation, might as well jump back on the PlayStation 6. That's supposed to be cheaper than the PS5 Pro. So maybe that could be like your way in if you're interested in that. But I feel like you're putting into perspective why I feel like a big mistake that Sony made was just focusing their single player portfolio into just one style of game. Uh, if you listen to Moore's Law is Dead, it's supposed to be cheaper than the PS5 Pro. It was being like built that way because the PS5 Pro was like originally was the enthusiast expensive test run for PSSR and doing machine learning hardware, and the PS6 was going to be like their attempt at trying to roll that back into like the system that's supposed to be the mainstream system, which is like the base console. It's kind of like ironic. Like right now, I'm playing Saros on base PS5. I played it on Pro yesterday. I wanted to check how it was running on base PS5, and this game is also on base PS5. So uh, the base PS5 is still mostly good for a lot of games, but right now, where the economy is right now, if the idea was that the PS6 was going to be cheaper, I don't believe it will. So, and the only way that I can see it being cheaper is if suddenly we see a very aggressive Microsoft that's going to like subsidize their hardware and drop prices and all of that, because I feel Sony felt comfortable upping the price because they don't feel they're competing directly with Microsoft at this point. But we'll see with Asha, the new Lord and Savior. But yeah, like I completely understand that, and what's so funny is that if you want to play a lot of the sequels for those games that you liked on PS4, you can do right now. You can literally do it right now on PC. So you're 100% now like you're the test case of what Hideaki Nishino wants to do with bringing back exclusives. They want to bring you back. Unfortunately, the kinds of games that would bring you back are the single player stuff. And this game is more story, like there's more story in this game than there was in Returnal, I would say. But the focus is still more gameplay than story. I feel like I'm playing more than I'm watching. So that balance, if you're like more a gameplay guy, this is definitely kind of like hitting that, like hitting there. But yeah, 100% I get it. I get why Sony would have lost you this generation. You're getting sick of that formula, and if you want to experience their next games of their formula, you technically can. The PC ports were solid, with the exception of Spider-Man 2. That PC port was actually heinous. And also The Last of Us Part 1 was not a great port on PC. It's fixed now, but they were pretty bad. So Yeah, me because I'm still on console land. Like, I'm on PlayStation because of. What Phil Spencer said. 1066. Oh my god, it's 66? Let me redeem a PlayStation Plus game. What haven't I not redeemed so far? Let's see. Can I add something for the classic catalog? Yeah. Rebirth for my own good. So Nova, like I played Rebirth on Switch and whatchamacallit, an Xbox today because I'm doing like graphics comparisons of all versions. So I might do an article about that. You with 2K hours in BG3 saying that. But to be fair, Nova, like BG3 has 2K hours worth of content because of all the different permutations. Rebirth is still its own game. So bask in the glory. Oh man, the chat is kind of blocking it right now. Let me just hide it briefly. Fox, where are you? Bask in the glory of all the games that I have. Oh man, like Eric Hill, where are you? The mods also kept that game alive for like for a long time. Yep, 100%. So, oh man, this cursed number will never stop haunting me, is it? So, where are you? Am I an FF16? Yay or nay? I'm mostly yay on that game. I reviewed it. I gave it a 9 back in the day. I feel that game is how can I say it? It's a game that is 10 out of 10 vibes and aura wrapped up in a 6 to 7 out of 10 MMO. But I love the highs of that game so much that I love the memory of that game more than I do the idea of wanting to go back to it. And I've gone back to it a couple times, and I'm being reminded that the game really rewards you with those highs. But whatchamacallit, the I just wish the in-betweens of that game were like tighter, because like I feel like within Final Fantasy 16 there's potentially my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time, but it's very hard. It's easily top 5 for me. I prefer Remake and Rebirth of FF7, so, or a farming slop. So okay, so how was the Mindside DLC? Abysmal dog shit. That's all I have to say. Yes, and that's the thing, like that there's a lot of depth for the combat system in 16. Is very hidden in very particular ways that you have to whatchamacallit, the worst way to play that game is just waiting for the power-ups to proc. Let's just put it that way. There is more hidden depth in the way that you can chain things in that game that is very, it reminds me a lot of Devil May Cry 5, which obviously makes sense because the combat director of Devil May Cry 5 and Monster Hunter World made that or previous Monster Hunter, because the Monster Hunter World guy was Remake's combat designer. Tendo Akuri, Ryota Suzuki did the FF16 combat. I feel the fact that FF16 is so easy on first playthrough and there's no way to make that game hard until you unlock Final Fantasy mode. It's not a game that encourages you to experiment. And I feel that is a big problem for a character action based game, because Devil May Cry is not an easy game. And that game highly encourages you to learn every freaking combo available that you can do, even though the way that you make those combos is like, it's literally chaining different moves together that include stick moves, holding R1, and all that. If you ever played Devil May Cry, I feel like the fact that it presents itself as the as a cooldown simulator, let's say, it doesn't really do justice to how versatile the combat of 16 actually is. But there's so much around it that undermines it, and kind of like you were mentioning, Nova. Like, I feel the worst thing that I can say about Final Fantasy 16 is that if you approach it as an RPG, you're gonna have a miserable time because itemization in that game is abysmal. Uh, there's no stat. Like, the only thing, you don't really have to keep up with stats at all. It's like it suggests RPG-ness in its structure, but it's a very shallow one. Like, at its core, it is an action game with a lot of story. That's all that game has. And if you want more than that, it is a problem. But I would say, like, from a spectacle perspective, I feel that game is very uh it's very unbeatable. You're too RPG autistic that when simplicity is a strength, it might bore you. Bro, in case you did tell 11 your Henry was broken, you remember getting a combination of perks that made the game a breeze, and BU3 having 30 armor class. Like, that's the thing, like, there is no mid-maxing stats in FF16. It's simple to a fault, and the DLC, Echoes of the Fallen and Rising Tide, it took until the DLC for you to start getting some trinkets that could meaningfully alter a little bit of the gameplay, kind of like finally having things that add to your build but also subtract stuff. And I'm like, why wasn't this here in the game? And I know a lot of people have actually taken a lot of the stats from those trinkets, did a mod, and you can play on PC to make more itemization, like, that feels closer to an RPG. And I resent the fact that only PC players that have mods are the only ones that can kind of get a version of that game with that kind of thing. So I understand a lot of this was done because they did market research, like, oh, fans like action. Let's uncomplicate this. Let's make a game that we can actually finish on time. Uh, and let's make probably the most epic spectacle you'll ever witness in a game. The highs of their game are pretty high, but you have to earn those highs. But I think about them a lot. In fact, like, it's so funny we're talking about 16. Before we started the stream, my please wait music was FF16 music. The music of that game is immaculate. No, it's like, it's really, really cool. In fact, there will be stuff that reminds you of Nier too in that soundtrack. There's a lot of Nier Automata in that game because I think Platinum helped with the development of that game too. So, your boredom is not elitist, for lack of a better word. You generally get drowsy. Monster Hunter World was fun for 80 hours, then guiding Lance had enemies that were insanely underleveled. A couple of times went autopilot, that while playing with friends, you fell asleep with controller in hand. And I feel you. And I feel like there is a way to make Final Fantasy 16 much harder, but that's in the arcade mode after you beat the game, when that unlocks Ultimania difficulty. I don't like the idea that a harder version of that game is so hidden. It's a lot of mistakes were made in that game, but it's a great. I still think it's a great game, but I think it's a really terrible RPG. And for people that approach FF16 as an RPG and they think that it's terrible, or probably one of the worst ones from an RPG perspective, it's very hard for me to refute it, even though I approached that game as it was a character action based game, which, if we're frank, like, should have never have been a mainline Final Fantasy. This, like, what they did with FF16 should have been like a spin-off, like Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, which was a Souls-like, with Final Fantasy, or Neo-like, with Final Fantasy trappings. And I thought it was a really interesting game. Obviously, that game is a meme because of the whole chaos thing. If anything, Nova, tag Angel Sword and just write chaos. Do that, or and KV, if you're there too, in in the Discord, just tag Angel Sword and just write chaos. Just do that. Just go do that right now. I want to see if he reacts, because Paul, my buddy, he hated how often chaos was said in that trailer that I kept torturing him for an entire year, and he could not stop seeing the word chaos everywhere without chuckling. So, yes, let me see if you're doing it. Yes. I want to see like tag him, but tag him no, but tag him. Angel Sword 21. Just give him the tag. Oh man, let's see. I want to see if that like if that brings yeah, probably taking care of his daughter. Yeah, I can imagine that's gonna be funny. Him like taking care, like having his daughter in hand, and be like, "What's this notification?" Chaos. Yeah, there were no ailments either. Like because you were saying there, like even ways that you could see could theoretically make you strategize how you like build your Clive. The fact that there's like no different min-maxing stats or doing those kinds of things really was a detriment. If F-16 was a spin-off without the mainline number, the sales would have suffered. Square would have been even more pissed. And yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I understand where Square was going with this, and to be fair, like I'm kind of glad that FF7 remake, FF14, and FF16 happened all around the same time because it allowed them to at least test the market well and see what people really reacted to. Right now, what's funny is that they have actually mixed messaging because remake sold well, part one, but rebirth didn't. Sold less, from what we understand. They've never been V33 success. Do you think FF7 is gonna go back to turn based? And that's the thing. Like, I really wonder where they land with FF17 because a lot of people are saying that the system that they should really focus on is what they did with FF7 remake and rebirth, because that combat is so unique to that game because it's like it keeps the spirit of the active time battle system of the original turn-based game, gives a little bit of action, like it gives a little bit of action to it, but you cannot just beat that game by wailing square. That's the worst way to play that game. You're not gonna succeed. You really have to like build your ATV, use status ailments, like strategize with your party and all of that. And I feel it's a system that a lot of people think is one of the best combat systems that exist in JRPGs, and I would love to see that system work into a new world outside of FF7. I think I would love to see that try because, like, despite the lesser sales of Rebirth reviewed better than Remake. It was one of the best reviewed games of 2024. The people that play Rebirth, a lot of them really like it. Obviously, it's also divisive, as we talk with you. Like, you're feeling lesser on it, especially having gone through the platinum. Through the platinum gauntlet of that game, which is fucking awful, and whatchamacallit, you know so little about FF7R that you have no idea what this system is. Is you're lucky. I can't wait for you to try that combat system, Noah, because I really like it. It's like, it looks like an action game, but the action stuff is in service of you building your ATV to execute like the big moves that are where you make a lot of like the big damage, and that's like mixed with like the limit breaks that were in the original that fill up if you get hit, and that is kind of like, did it really need to be 25 chocobo races? 25? Not really. Like, I mean, I'm glad they were there. I hate that you had to do them all for the platinum. So it's like, and the original FF7, even with its dated visuals, there's and like bad pathfinding in some places and all that, it's still a very relevant game still to this day. And I do find it funny that FF7 has managed to still stay in the conversation where so many games many people claim were better just kind of came and went. I feel that is probably a byproduct of them splitting that original game into 3 full games. So that's probably what happened. But I am actually like to go back to what you said, KB. I'm just curious about what direction they take Final Fantasy, because like obviously it's gonna be multi-platform, like guaranteed. Like, I remember thinking Tifa and their G was so hot. Like everyone felt the same way. No, man, that's been like that's a story as old as it's been, which has been almost 30 years. So yeah. Even though and what I love about Tifa is that she's a character that transcends her looks. She's not just a pretty character. That's what I love about Tifa, and they do really good with Tifa on the remake project, I would say. With almost all the characters, I would say characterization is really good in all of those games. It is so funny though because of the graphics. But to be fair, those graphics were there, but there was also the art, the Tetsuya Nomura art that you could read like in the manual and all of that. Like, she looked hot there too. So, and that's not with like a Tifa that's more. They've added a little bit more to cover the cleavage and all of that, but then kind of like Rebirth gives you the full fan service of you can dress her up in a bikini, and her cannonball and her Civil War cannonballs are like almost exposed there. That's so that certainly was for certain people. Dude, and here's kind of what's funny, KB, is that that literally happened. Like, they made a presentation, kind of like the trailer that we saw of Final Fantasy VII Remake at E3 2015. They showed that at an investors call for Square Enix, that Nomura was there, and that's when he found out he was directing that game. Like, he didn't even know he was directing it, because he was directing Kingdom Hearts 3 at the time, after he was just removed from FF15. That's the kind of shit show that Square Enix was in the mid-2010s. It is actually a miracle that the remake project has turned out as good as it's been. So, it wasn't a joke. It actually happened. So, which is hysterical. Tactical rifle, let's see what this one. I'll stay with the hand cannon. The raptor hand cannon is the best. Redraw. Nope. Not on my shotgun. Taking damage generates power for every. Nah. I'm not gonna risk it. And I made my pick. We're going this way. But I have to say, this is one of the best optimized Unreal Engine 5 games I've played so far. And all it takes is for these games to not use Lumen and Nanite. This one's good. Yeah, this is UE5. Returnal was UE4. Yeah, it's like their solution, like from what I understood from what the Digital Foundry was saying, is that they build their pipeline with Unreal Engine. But it's custom though. special research for armor alteration. Sweet. And I do too, Nova, because everyone's using it and it's homogenized game development so much. And it's just not an engine that its entire suite of features is like suited for what we have right now. Even on PC. And on PC it's even worse. Because it's stutter central. And staying on the theme that that Xbox likes being cheap, I hate that almost their entire development pipeline is with UE5. Gears 8 is UE5, Halo Remix is gonna be UE5, Fable is UE5. Or no, actually, is it? Can someone correct me with that? Like, because I think they're like Fable's actually not a UE5 game. Force Attack and UE5, so a mix of both. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, Nova, and do you see that Alien Isolation 2 is gonna be running in UE5 instead of the Alien tech they had for the first game? Just when I saw that, my heart sank for you. Yep, they confirmed it. They dropped their engine. They're making a sequel with UE5. So get ready for Stutter Central. Dude, and you saw me when I played it on... when I did my playthrough last October. It's like... that game still holds up visually. Like, what a blunder. Like, having to drop that. And I hate to really think that it's because of the cost-sunk fallacy of like having to make your own engine and teaching people when UE5 is such a like common tool, but I really don't like that that it's becoming so common. Wait, am I going backwards? What? Larger loosen a collection rate is misfire taking down Rivet Jam's main weapon. Yeah, and that game is what was the CryEngine? The same engine that made Crysis. And even as I'm not like the biggest fan of that game, I respect it so much, and I love how visually like how strong it is. Imagine Saros made in Dreams. Oh man. Man, remember when Dreams was supposed to be like at one point pitched as a new engine for first party? These are really... Ah man. So we talk about first party blunders. I think we have to put that in a shoe blunder. That he probably gave too much rope to. Still waiting for the KCD 1 run and slow playthrough. Hey, the PS5 version's out, so in a dry spell, that's like on the table. Because I would like to play 1 before I do 2. Megaton Blunder is putting it lightly, KD. Like, bro doesn't give a fuck. I think I gotta play the first one. That's the thing, like, I got that based on like the prologue of 2 that I'm like, man, I feel like this would hit more for me if I actually played it. Firing while stationary deals reduced damage. Nah, I don't know. Increase mass integrity, making damage. Yeah, I want that. Because I'm poisoned right now. Yeah, you gotta like underline that male character because like male characters these generations are like few and far between now. To the chagrin of the you know who's. Break it with like a missile, let's see. Yep. Figured as much.
They said it was empty. They said it was ours. Something was here first.
Main weapon kills reduce shield fire consumption, taking down. Oh yeah, I already have that. Let me.
And then it waited. And waited. And wait.
Lydia, I knew you were here.
Great missile, Homer missiles, vacuum bomb. Yes, I'll take that. It has piercing. Yep, it's the same one, but it's stronger. Ooh, beautiful. Oh. So KB, give me a percentage. Does media molecule get killed before the generation is over? Holy crap, that's a lot to keep up with right now. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. How about now? Is the game volume better? Ah, damn it. Oh yeah, second chance. That's right. I have that now. And I'm fucked. Yep. Let me just, there we go, for almost 3 hours. I think I might go for a half more, but I need to stretch and go to the restroom real quick. Restroom time. Yeah, that was such an unlucky spot for a second chance. I got royally screwed there. But, right. Restroom. BRB. I'm back. Let's do another run. I want to at least try to get to the boss again. Let's see if I can get more upgrades now.
Why does this keep happening?
Likely cause user error.
We get this. When can I unlock this? Until I unlock everything beneath, maybe? Ether is more effective. Right. Capacity, this weapon proficiency. Will Chris and Colin hate this hub? I think they might. Like, when I heard Jake Baldino say that he like this reminded him of Doom Eternal, I was like, ah, that will be interesting hearing from Colin and Chris and that, because they have thoughts. That, to be fair, like Chris loves Doom Eternal. It's Colin the one that's like, nah, Doom Eternal's like, am I streaming tomorrow? I'm gonna so tomorrow I'm skipping stream. I'm coming back on Thursday for stream. And then Friday is a TBD because it's my brother's birthday. So I don't know if I'm doing anything. If I end up doing something, no stream Friday. If I end up not doing something Friday, that's gonna be like I'm gonna make the call there in the Discord. I'll announce it there. But Wednesday it's a no. I'll be back on Thursday. So appreciate you coming over, KB. Until the next one, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. Attribute enhancers become more effective, so... Statistics. Oh, I forgot that I had the skins because of the deluxe edition. Hands of Shore, Astra, Midgard. Or what was Astra? Like, was that Horizon? Hands of Shore. Yeah, this is a Ghost. I'll do God of War. Peace to that dude all the way from Twitch, yeah. Nova says peace to you, KB. If you're still here. Melee kills generate power, yes. Yeah, I'll wait till I activate the Eclipse again. That's screwed me. Gain one hit immunity after opening a container. Yeah. Yes, it's the one thing that that carries over from Returnal. There's like a few layouts that remain the same, kind of like the main hub that you have to like pick to the left and right. That remains the same, but then going through those places changes. So far, I haven't had a repeat layout in the few runs that I've done today. So. Tactical rifle, less clip size, super lit. Feel the other one's better. Yeah, I'll stay with onslaught. The left. Taking damage generates power. Okay, yeah. Like, by the way, Nova, I was cracking up when you and Erikel got to the Pragmata combo, the last Sacred episode. How about the writing? And that again goes to show me that you're so lucky that you're so offline, because I was cracking up because I had witnessed the conversations online because my algorithm is so rotted at this point.
Lucenite. That's what Soltari calls this resource. But that name does not capture its glory. It made this world possible. It made them wonderful. Were they so magnificent it was created for them? Did the shore look down on them with splendor and shine its bounty on Carcosa? Lucenite. I wonder what the ancients called it.
Main weapon kills reduce shield fire. Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting upgrades now without the negative. Is that because of the clips thing? We're trying to understand kind of the mechanics. The one thing I would say that I really like about this Nova is that this is like the permanent progression thing is really helpful. To be fair, anime has earned a stigma that warrants that reaction. Fortunately for you, because you like to watch some anime with some manga writing anything sometimes. I tell you, it's been really interesting learning the things I've read, catching up on Chainsaw Man. Let's just put it that way. Oh yeah. I've forgotten about that in JJK. It's been a while. Guys, these guys really know how to take a beating. Sword cage dissipated. Ricochet hand cannon. Let's try this one. We need the explosive one. Do I think Nier influenced Returnal and Saros a bit? I feel like Nier, low-key, has influenced a lot. That I don't think a lot of people give Nier credit for influencing. But I wouldn't put it past them. Oh, I know, I still need to play Replicant. Like, is there waiting? And it's been literally 9 years since I beat Automata, so if a new Nier is actually announced, because we keep getting blueballed by Yoko Taro, like if that gets like announced, Nier streams are on the table.
I can feel it in my mind. The eclipse. How does it do that?
The eye of the soul. The light on the path.
Okay, when it's eclipsed, that's when you start getting the artifacts that are corrupted. Makes sense. Stronger ether at low integrity. Recoil rise increased weapon recoil. Sure, yeah. I'll take that. It's not that bad. Take less damage after a kill. Yeah, I'll take that too. Yeah, nobody laughed where after like Nier has been so quiet for so long. like 5 years without it, and they keep celebrating how much it's still selling. It's diabolical, man. I will say it is really annoying how, besides Final Fantasy, a lot of great Square Enix franchises are not being well served right now. That should and could. Like, Kingdom Hearts fans right now are in shambles because they're still waiting. Dragon Quest fans are half served because of they're getting the remakes, but 12 is MIA. Nier fans, like, for such a beloved, like, universally champion franchise, nothing. I don't know if a high budget would be the ideal thing for a game. I think what made Nier so special is the fact that they were able to do so much with a little budget, I would say. But you know, Noah, what I think is also a problem? I wonder if the reason why we haven't had another Nier game is because of what's happening with Platinum. That Platinum has been such a shamble, like, over the last few years, where they lost a lot of big heads. They got a little bit of a rope with co-developing Ninja Gaiden 4. Kamiya's out. That's what I'm wondering. Like, why we haven't gotten it. Because it just doesn't make sense. And some people would even argue that Automata was probably the best exclusive that came out in 2017 on the PS4. No, I'm not sacrificing my dash. Fuck that. When did I change my thing? I didn't want that. Hand cannon. Piercing shot head hunter. Yeah, Rico's actually kind of brutal right now. Damage 5 hostiles simultaneously with the spirited projectiles. Okay, I didn't even know I was shooting all of that, people. Yeah, the Church of Texas was pretty goated. think the blue ones are always the best ones to go to. I don't know if the hand cannon is my best shot for this, but we'll see. Games for mechanical hostiles to drop more loose tonight. Nah. Alright, let's redraw it. Corruption generates power. Actually, yes. Alright, final run. Second chance, second chance, second chance. Yes. Man.
Any status update on Jerome?
No data found.
Don't do this to me, Jerome. Don't you dare.
Man, that was... Whew. Second biome complete.
Nithya.
And now I can see the PS5, base PS5 blurriness.
What are you?
That looks sick, man. You look so funny as
Who's there?
Someone not so lost as you.
You don't know anything about me. Lena. We thought you were dead.
No. Just done with being a Soltari pawn. But that doesn't mean I won't help a fellow enforcer. Wish I could have helped Jackson.
Where is he?
Just found pieces of him. He should have been more careful.
No. I should have been there for him.
You want to do right by Jerome? Focus on the living.
To the depths vault. Consider research for armor alteration.
I'm sorry I wasn't there, Jay.
Still in biome 2.
All these years, everything we saw together, I never thought it'd be you first. Goodbye, Jay.
Maximum integrity increased.
Arj, wouldn't be saying this if I thought we'd see each other again. You're off, mate. Disappearing into your own head again. Sort it out, copper. Figure out what you're fighting for before this place eats you alive. He's seeing you, yeah?
He didn't deserve to die alone.
I wonder how soon before I get the grappling hook. I assume there is one.
Soltari signal detected.
Focus on the living.
Is there a teleporter that can send me back to the there, or am I still in the second biome? Man, this place looks so cool. This game has such cool visual design.
Echelon 3. Any life signs?
Negative.
Yeah, they keep like boosting. That clearly looks like a grappling hook.
This is a full colony build-out. They have to be around here. That's the source of the signal. What happened to that primary unit?
Damaged beyond repair.
Path or unknown. I'm so lucky to be away from all of it. Every day I wake and breathe clean air, have all the food I need, and know that there's a roof over my head. But every day I wonder about what I'm missing. The babies, the art, the parties, the relationships, the rebellions. The little things that build up over years of friendship. And cats! To think I'll never see one of those furry idiots again. They tell us that the next flight should have everything we need to get the relay working at last. Even if that's true, Soltari would make us pay through the nose for it. I'd spend all my credit just to tell my family that I'm doing fine. Just fine. They'll never hear about the rest of it. How could they possibly understand? I left them in hell to move to paradise, and the gulf between us is more than just light years. We can't ever truly know each other again. Shattered Descent.
Primary data core.
That
Critical Soltari property.
It can give us answers. Kayla will know how to access it. You were here, weren't you?
There we are. Oh, fuck. Returns passage.
Tell me what's on here.
Where did you find
Kayla,
this?
please. What have you got?
Just wait. These things take time. Okay, it's from Echelon 2. Some inventories, diagnostics, nothing really spicy there. But it hasn't logged any activity. Wait. Centuries.
Ridiculous. This is a newly established colony.
Can't make the Eclipse follow protocol, Sheridan. Time is
Time
broken
travel
here,
involved?
okay? They're all dust.
This is what it does. It gets in our heads, and it twists, and it turns. They're here. They need us. I can't let her... I can't let them down.
Let's get the upgrades and call it a
I
night.
need to find them.
Priority. Investigate the colony site.
Cool down, Devraj. We need to calibrate.
I'm going back out. I need to find them.
The situation's changed. I'll find us a new plan.
No, I don't buy it. Something scrambled the data, that's all.
It's possible, but We need to figure out our next steps.
Primary won't want us to wait.
I'm in charge here. If I can't count on you, Arjun, then go. Chase your ghosts.
I don't want this to be true any more than you do.
You said it yourself. Nothing on this planet makes sense.
We lost so many people. In such horrible ways, and now this.
They have to be alive.
You're lying to yourself. But it's your choice to make.
No. They're out there. I feel it. I know it.
The data is clear, Arjun.
I'll give up if you want, but I won't. Not ever.
I really love Rahul Kohli. He's a really good actor. Ooh, Carcassonne modifiers. Allow you to change the nature of your experience. Protection modifiers assist you, while trial modifiers make your journey more challenging. Choose your modifiers, lock in your selection, and then return to a changed Carcosa. So after 2 biomes, it kind of like unlocks the basically difficulty modifiers. Interesting. So increase those in our collection, damage dealt to hostiles. Cool. Getting a proficient level clears away hostile projectiles. Meleeing a staggered hostile ends staggered but deals massive. Oh, finally! I've been wondering, like, there's that stagger damage thing at the bottom, and being like, okay, I've staggered him. Does it help at anything? That encourages melee, kind of like Doom. Cool. Oh, well, well. Well. And that concludes day 2 of me playing through Saros in the 48-hour early access period that basically started late last night. So the game officially comes out on Thursday. So I will be back for my next stream. It's going to be kind of like a celebration of the basic launch of Saros for anyone that just pays for the base $70 price. So far, this is a game that I'm really, really, really enjoying. I like it more than Returnal, even though I understand why some people would prefer the hardcore nature of Returnal, because Returnal is so brutally hard. I'm done, Nova. I've streamed for almost 4 hours because I went live earlier today. So when they need to get some... Do you know what time I went to bed yesterday? 4 a.m. So because the demos of Rebirth came out and I tested them last night. So yes, it is bad for me indeed, that game. But yeah, so no stream tomorrow unless something weird happens. But I'm not planning to. So yeah, you're getting ready for bed at 2 a.m. So you're in the East Coast then. Cool. So something to kind of keep it for me to keep in mind of, so that you're not. I'm not like making you all go to bed too early, like too late. But yeah, it's we completed biome 2, so biome 3 we'll see it in the next stream. So in the meantime, if I play this off stream, I'm gonna try to just keep grinding out like the first 2 biomes just to keep leveling up, since this thing has like the permanent upgrades. So I have a reason to kind of still play the other stuff without trying to get too ahead of myself. But yeah, I'll definitely be playing more Saros this Thursday. So I want to thank everyone that got to tune in both on Twitch and on YouTube today. I'll enjoy it. Some fun conversations to be had there. And I'll see you all on Thursday. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, night. tonight. So sleep well, get some good rest, and peace out, and I'll see you until the next one. Hasta la vista, baby. Oh, actually, I can play another slot. Sweet.